Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 20 video, and in today's video we will be rebuilding the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I do finally have updated rosters, but that will not be in this video. It will be in the next video with the Cardinals, and you will see DeAndre Hopkins in there. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going all in this year, getting Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady, and in this rebuild you will see them both and a little bit of Jameis Winston. But anyways, here is the roster, and Jameis Winston to start out. He will most definitely be cut here because obviously he's not on the Buccaneers anymore, and I don't have the updated rosters. He is on the Saints, and cutting him will be a temporary thing, just to hint at you later in the future, because we will be getting him back in free agency, don't you guys worry. But we are also going to strip this team, such as this O-line, which sucks, other than Ali Marpet, which is pretty good. Devin White here, great. Shaquille Barrett, great. Cornerback group, rookies, very, very young. Carlton Davis, I think this is his second year playing, very young cornerback group. Buccaneers have a lot of room to develop. Special teams isn't that great, but we can always work on it. We're going to change the scheme here, get the best percentage to get the best possible chance to win, because Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski are going to be in this rebuild. Yes, Rob Gronkowski, I'm going to edit him in and use his Madden 19 stats, which I believe makes him a 99 overall, which will give him an X factor as well, which will be pretty cool in my opinion. But anyways, before we move on, it is time to get into some trades. See y'all there. For our first trade, Ndamukong Sanu and Ryan Jensen for a first and a fifth from the Broncos. Both take up cap room and both are pretty old. For the next trade, JPP and Cameron Brate, a second round pick for a huge pickup, which is Jamal Adams. Secondary could use it. Safeties aren't great, but now we have a perfect replacement for it. For the next trade, we have DeMar Dotson and Carl Nassib for a first-round pick from the Bengals. Both of them didn't really seem too much value, and DeMar Dotson took up way too much cap room for this team. For the next trade, we have Peyton Barber and Rashad Perryman for the Packers' first-round pick. Low value for a high pick. That's a pretty good deal in my opinion. For the final team turnout, Brady and Gronk, as you can see, are both here, which is huge. Ali Marpet now plays center apparently. And Brady with all these abilities, red zone deadeye is perfect. And Gronkowski right here, obviously you can tell he is not 16 years experience, it says, which he's obviously not that, and he obviously did not come from Kent State. I took Antonio Gates from free agency and just stripped him apart, edited his stats, changed what he looked like, and changed his numbers. But anyways, that's Rob Gronkowski, and I was obviously too lazy to change his name to Gronkowski and spell it out, so he's just Rob Gronk right now. Anyways, this is the team going into the first season. Looks very good, just a little bit young, could use some developing, especially Jamal Adams, but he doesn't need too much developing because obviously he's an X factor and 92 overall with only 2 years experience. Amazing player. But anyways, let's get into the mid-season mark. See y'all there. At the mid-season mark, we have a losing streak notification, which is bad. We are 3-4, so I'm assuming we went 3-0 and just had 4 losses in a row, which is unfortunate. Hopefully we can turn the season right around. We got players to upgrade, contracts to negotiate, and to start our first negotiation, Shaquille Barrett, which he was franchise tagged in real life, but we are just playing this the Madden Sim way because that's just how it is. Again, I will have the actual real life rosters tomorrow, I believe it is, in the Cardinals rebuild with DeAndre Hopkins, and everyone on every team will be correctly. And why is Andrew Luck playing here? Why is he here? And the CPU signed Andrew Luck and put Brady at second string when Brady has this X factor. I hate that. It signed him because we didn't have a good second string QB and he was the top of the board for second string QBs. That's insanely stupid. But I guess I'm going to have to go in here and sign a QB so that way the CPU doesn't sign Andrew Luck again. Like Taysom Hill. Perfect. Old. Yeah, that's just a little bit something that annoys me that the CPU does, but you can't really control it. It's nothing really in my control. As I just said, I'm sorry for constantly repeating myself, but this team is so stacked and so set up. All in this year is what they're doing, not 2019, which is the Madden year right now, but the 2020 year. Overall, this team is great. Tom Brady. What do I want to give him? 2 years, because that was his actual contract. In real life, he got 2 years with the Buccaneers. I know he's not being paid crap right there, but he will be. Don't worry. Madden Sim always finds a way to screw things up. But anyways, it is time for the playoffs. At the playoffs, we win with the first round bye, going from 3-4 to 11-5, winning the division. Let's check the schedule. This was insane. So, at the midseason mark, we were 3-4, and then after that, win, loss, win. Like, are you kidding me? That's an insane season. I am insanely happy with this team. I know I'm saying insane a lot, but stats for Brady obviously aren't good. He didn't play for half the season. Offense sucked. Defense was solid. Brady only had 1 interception for half the season. Great. Rojo didn't do good. Mike Evans didn't hit 1,000 yards. And only, what was that? Only 1 touchdown for Mike Evans. That's insane, but okay. Anyways, on to the defense. Levante David, 105 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 14 tackles for loss for Vita Vea, 10 sacks for Shaquille Barrett, 4 for Mike Edwards, and interceptions. Safeties, 0. Defensive touchdowns, 0. Anyways, let's spend some Coach XP. Then let's see who we are going to be facing. Let's do, expert scouting and weekly player goal XP. Nothing too important, nothing too huge. Now it is time to see who we are playing. This is one of the first teams I did for NFC. I think, yeah. So we are playing the Saints, division rival. I'm only going to play if we make it to the NFC Championship. Do we do it? Yes, we do. Packers, NFC Championship. Packers and the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship with Brady and Gronk. I'm just going to hop in here and let them play the moments and just skip everything, but I'm not going to really be playing the moments because, as you guys know, I'm not really that good of a Madden player. But anyways, it's time to get into the game. In the third quarter is 21-17. We are leading. Going to skip these moments just to let it play out. They take the lead 21-24, down 3. We're up 28-24. Let's see if we can clutch this, put this away. And did we turn over the ball? No, we did not. We are up by a touchdown, up by 2 touchdowns. Now up only by 1 touchdown, 38-31. I'm going to hop in here. I don't know what to do. Maybe just a quick pass. Audible to run, maybe. Yeah. That seems good. And I want to flip it to the other side. I forgot how to flip the run to the other side. Is this how you do it? Something like that? No. Okay. Whatever. I'll just snap the ball. And I instantly get tackled. They call a timeout right away. I'm just going to keep grounding and pounding the ball. This is going to be a little bit boring because I'm just going to run out the clock. So I think I'm just going to edit this part of the video out. And I will see y'all once the game is over. And as y'all can see, the game is over. We did win 31-38. Just ran out the clock running halfback toss crack, I believe it was. But anyways, we have made it to the Super Bowl against the Cleveland Browns Madden simulation gods. Carlton Davis here with an upgrade. Just going to let the CPU upgrade it. I want to see MVP, just skim through it. I don't really like to look at the awards that much because they don't really matter. Stats and development traits are what matters in this, but might as well just skim through. No Buccaneers had like best QB, best player, or whatever. But anyways, this is the team going to the Super Bowl. Is there any development upgrades? Yes, our free safety did get a development upgrade because now he has hidden development. Rookie. Okay, so he probably did. I don't think he won Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I guess he just had a great season. So, I believe he did have the 4 interceptions that were on the stat sheet. But anyways, before I keep saying again and again, it is time to get into the Super Bowl. And it is 21-0. We are blowing out the Browns in this third quarter. 24-0. The Browns come back. It doesn't matter. And they come back down again. Okay, don't choke, please. And I'm just going to keep skipping this. And we are choking really bad. I need to jump in here. Okay, we just choked a 24-0 lead. I feel like the Atlanta Falcons, but it's pretty ironic how Tom Brady's the one choking the lead and not coming back from it. But we're going to have to run halfback toss crack over and over and over again. Hopefully we can get into field goal range or just put this one in overtime. Not good blocks at all. Ooh, Rojo with a juke. Anyways, I'm just going to have to skip through this and get down to the good stuff. Now, anyways, here we are here down to the good stuff in overtime in the red zone. Yes, I just ran out the clock and I did not get my field goal, but Brady is in the zone. I'm looking for Gronk here with that route technician, and I think it's red zone threat. I don't really know. Wait, no, it's streak specialist, and I think route technician, so he has harder cuts on routes, and there he is. Touchdown. That's going to be the game. We end it in overtime in the Super Bowl, and the Patriots have been the only... Not the Patriots. For some reason, I thought Tom Brady and the Patriots, basically bandwagon fans. But Tom Brady has been in the only 2 overtime Super Bowls in history. So if you kind of think about it, that's wild. But anyways, that's what matters. Tom Brady brings the Buccaneers their fourth Super Bowl win ever in history. But this isn't really much of a rebuild considering that we won in the first year. It's not really rebuilding anything. Because the Buccaneers, I didn't really do anything. The Buccaneers picked up a lot of great players over the season, and I just didn't really know what to do. But anyways, Baker Mayfield shaking his head. He's down. He's not about it. I'm just watching this so that way I can see the Super Bowl MVP. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Tom Brady. I didn't even see his stats. Maybe even Gronkowski. Or just Gronk in this one. There's O.J. Howard highlights. I don't really care about these highlights. I really just want to know who the MVP is, so I'm just going to have to skip to that. And the MVP is Tom Brady, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 7.1% completion rate. Anyways, this is the team after the Super Bowl. Tom Brady has regressed to an 86 overall with morale, I believe, and Gronkowski is now my right tackle because apparently I don't have a right tackle. We're going to need to focus that on and in the draft. We don't have a defensive tackle or edge either, which we need to focus on also in the draft. But anyways, let's get into some free agency. After the draft and free agency, which that wasn't free agency in the previous clip, sorry about that. Also, this is the team. Our left tackle and D-line has improved tremendously, and this is a solid team. I don't know why I paused there. I just had to think about some things. But anyways, it is time to get into the season. I will see you guys at the midseason mark. At the midseason mark, we are 4-4 at the bottom of the division. Okay, stats. Brady is elite. Ninth defense? No, that was 9th offense. 22nd defense. Defense needs to pick up the slack. Anyways, we got some contracts to get into, starting with Chris Godwin's. Chris Godwin, he's probably going to want a lot of money. Yes, he wants a whole lot of money. And he continues with the organization. Levante David is an iffy one. Definitely don't want to give him 3 years. Maybe 1 year and I up the salary a whole lot. Does he do that? And he does not do that. So we're probably going to end up trading him away because he doesn't want to do that. Tom Brady is definitely a guy that we obviously have to bring back. Face of this franchise for now. Short term. Happy to sign. We're glad that he's happy to sign. Tom Brady obviously isn't like a very money picky player, if that makes sense, if you know what I mean. But we need a trade for a halfback, which would be a good thing. Our left tackle has superstar development, which is great, amazing even. Defense, left outside linebacker still hasn't unlocked his ability trait, but it's time to get into some trades. Levante David and a third for a first from the Chargers. You guys saw this coming. The Chargers are the only team with cap space to even acquire Levante David. Anyways, this is the team. Before we continue on, just to show you guys it again. Levante David's obviously gone. I wanted to get another halfback at the trade block. Just couldn't manage to do it because no teams really had any cap and were willing to trade any good halfbacks. At the playoffs, we did not make the playoffs, which is pretty sad. Finishing 6-10. The stats are: offense really took a hard drop off, went from 9th to 19th. Tom Brady still had great stats. Defense picked up their slack from 22nd defense to the 10th best defense. So overall, not the worst stats, but pretty bad team, but I'm going to spend some Coach XP right here. And I don't really know what to say here other than we just got to get into the next season, come back, strike back a little bit harder. I know I sound like a stupid motivational coach, but anyways, it is time to get into this offseason, which we are here already, negotiating contracts. Do I really want anyone here? No, I don't. So I'm not going to take anybody here. But it is time to get into some free agency. After free agency, we have acquired Jameis Winston. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we would need Jameis Winston. He's on an extremely cheap contract. We also got Marlon Mack here. Overall, great team. Chibier Awuzie is also here now. Sean Murphy-Bunting now has superstar development. And the super cheap contract that Jameis Winston was on was like $3 million a year for a quarterback. That's insanely cheap and insanely great. After the draft, we have improved the O-line, starting with the right tackle, of course. And defensively, we got this middle linebacker, not too special, nothing amazing about it. But anyways, it is time to get into the midseason mark. At the midseason mark, we are 4-1-2. Interesting record for season 2021. And we are leading the division as well, which is also interesting. But anyways, it is time to get into some contracts. Jamal Adams I already tried, didn't really want anything. OJ Howard. I'm sorry if I always say a lot of the same words, and I'm sorry that I keep saying sorry, but it's just a habit. Carlton Davis, don't really know if I want to sign him for that much money for being that like low class of a cornerback. He's like a fourth string, don't really need him. Probably could pick him up in free agency for cheaper. But anyways, it is time to get into the playoffs. Hopefully we can make it again. And we do make it again, facing the 10-6 Giants as we do win the division. Time to check out the stats. Jameis Winston, okay. Better than a middle-of-the-road quarterback. 10th best offense, 4th best defense. Great team. Jameis Winston obviously turning the ball over a little bit too much, but has solid passing yards and great amount of touchdowns. Marlon Mack had a great season, over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. Mike Evans over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Devin White, most tackles, 12 tackles for a loss, 3 sacks, 17 tackles for our, I think, rookie, 16.5 sacks for Shaq Barrett, and 4 interceptions for Sean Murphy-Bunting, 0 safeties, 1 defensive touchdown from Jamel Dean. And let's get into the playoffs. I'm not going to hop in unless we make it to the NFC Championship. Let's see if we can beat the New York Giants to move on to the divisional round of the playoffs. And we do. Now we're facing the 11-5 49ers to move on to the NFC Championship for the potential to go to the Super Bowl. We do. It is the Dallas Cowboys, also sim gods with the Browns, as Jameis Winston wins Player of the Week, 5 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown, not even an interception. That's not Jameis Winston, that's Dot City right there, okay? Anyways, Jameis Winston didn't even get a development upgrade from any of this, but this is the team right before we hop in. Just want to see if there's any other changes to the team, which it doesn't really look like anything big. I don't really know what I'm looking for here. I'm just looking to see like depth in our corners and everything else. But anyways, it's time to get into the sim. In the simulation, we are up 28-10 against the Cowboys going into the fourth quarter, 35-17. Cowboys are driving down the field, 35-24. I think it's too late for them to come back. We score a field goal, 38-24. And that is too late for them to catch up. 38-24. Ugh, what a score, dude. What a score. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I will see you guys whenever we get to the Super Bowl. Now, here at the Super Bowl, we are facing the Browns once again. I'm not too surprised because Browns are Madden sim gods, but I'm going to see if we got any Super Bowl upgrades, but Jameis Winston doesn't look like he's got any. No one really else here on the team has any upgrades, so let's just dive right into this Super Bowl, facing the Cleveland Browns again. Second time we played in the Super Bowl, and second time we're playing them. Here in the third quarter, we are up 10-7. Browns go downfield, score 10-14. And we're coming down as well, and we don't even get the field goal. But we get back in 17-14, 21-17. We're driving down the field again. Can we score? Red zone, we're in. 24-21. End game drive. I'm going to cheese the living crap out of this pinch buck against Baker Mayfield. He won't be able to handle this. Watch this, watch this. This is going to be too easy, guys. And sacked. Pinch buck is way too overpowered. The computer doesn't even know what to do about it. It never does. We're going to do it again. Sacked again. And he fumbled. We pick it up. Touchdown. He's probably going to get player of the game for that. Anytime a defensive player gets a touchdown, they get player of the game for it. But, yeah, that's going to be the game. 31-21, the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl. This is my first rebuild I've ever done. Within the 4 years, I have won 2 Super Bowls within 3 seasons, which is amazing. But it's pretty ironic how last year we didn't even make the playoffs, but now we're winning the Super Bowl. I'm just looking for the Super Bowl MVP again just to show you guys, so I'm going to skip right to that. And as you can see, Nick's our left outside linebacker gets it for picking up the fumble and getting the touchdown, even though he didn't really do anything or get any sacks. But anyways, in the re-signing period, we see Nicholas Hitchens, the Super Bowl MVP, has Unfakeable as his superstar trait, and Carlton Davis and Rojo I don't want to re-sign. He's just a little bit too much for my taste for being a 4th string. Definitely a little bit too much, but still young and still a good player, and into free agency. After free agency, this is what the team looks like as we get Rashad Penny as a 2nd string halfback, and we get Leighton Vander Esch, who I moved to inside linebacker with an all-superstar linebacking core, which is going to be great because I'm going all in this year, and I also got Chris Harris Jr., who is like a 3rd string. That's how good our secondary is. This team is overall amazing, and I'm excited to see what Season 4 provides for us. And it's time to get into the draft. After the draft, this is what the team looks like. I didn't really spend too much time on it. I just drafted this backup quarterback. I don't know why. Best player available. We picked at number 32. Nothing really happened. But, yeah, I picked, like, depth players, and that's about it. So nothing really too much to talk about, and it is time to get into the midseason mark. At the midseason mark, we are 4-3, and we are 2nd as the Panthers are leading the division. And we have a bunch of players to sign, but this is the last season, so we don't need to re-sign them, but I'll do it anyways. Sure, Vita Vea can have this, and Sean Murphy-Bunting, and just increase that. And we can't even make an offer because we went all in on Leighton Vander Esch. I spent so much money on Leighton Vander Esch, and I'm happy to do it because this is the last season. Anyways, into the playoffs. And at the playoffs, we are facing the 9-7 Panthers, as we are also 9-7 because the Panthers won the division. Hopefully, we can beat them and move on. For our last season, Jameis Winston, not too hot in yards. Offense was terrible. Defense was a little bit bad, but Jameis Winston had a lot of touchdowns. So still a little bit too many turnovers. Not a surprise. Marlon Mack did terrible this year. Scotty Miller. Who is that? Who is Scotty Miller? And why does he have more receptions than Mike Evans and Chris Godwin? Well, more yards. That makes no sense. But okay, Scotty Miller, normal development, 77 overall, is apparently a god. Anyways, moving on to the defense. The most tackles for a loss goes to Shaquille Barrett. Most sacks goes to Vita Vea, not even double digit. Interceptions, Devin White. Safeties, 2 for Leighton Vander Esch, wow, and 1 defensive touchdown for Chris Harris Jr., both the guys we picked up in free agency last year. So that's great. Let's see if we can beat the Panthers so that way we can move on to the divisional round. If we get 3 Super Bowls in one video, that'd be amazing, as we are now facing the Cardinals in divisional. Let's see who we can play if we do win, and we did. We're playing the 9-5-1 Seahawks. Whew, that's That's pretty cool, I guess, that we're in the NFC Championship. I did not expect that to be 9-7, but it's the 9-6-1 Seahawks. My bad, not 5-1. But anyways, that is Mike Tomlin as the Seahawks head coach, and we win. Just to skip over that so that way you guys could see. Anyways, into the Super Bowl. We are facing the Buffalo Bills against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am surprised that we made it to the Super Bowl 3 times. Huge clickbait thumbnail is going to be coming here, boys. Don't you worry about it. Anyways, let's hop into this and just get straight into the third quarter. In the third quarter, 14-7. We're driving down the field, 21-7, 14-21. We're still up. Fourth quarter, 28-14. We're up as we continue to pour it on, and the Bills, they do not quite score. We stop them, and they go down the field again, and we win again. I'm not even going to bother looking at the Super Bowl MVP. I'll look at that later once we're done. But anyways, guys, I really hoped you enjoyed this series. I know I just rambled on really fast, and probably none of you could understand that, but that was actually really insane and really hyped up that we get to have Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady on the same team. Tom Brady winning one Super Bowl for us, and surprisingly Jameis Winston winning the other Super Bowl for us. And the Super Bowl MVP, we will see it whenever I sim to the next week. The Super Bowl MVP will be... Okay, this is anticlimactic. Come on, load already. Super Bowl MVP is Jameis Winston, I believe, not Shaq Barrett, because Jameis Winston didn't even throw a interception, so 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. Jameis Winston is the MVP of the Super Bowl, and I'm betting he still has normal dev because Madden Sim is that way. I don't know why. And he does still have normal development. Okay, that kind of sucks. But anyways, I do have updated rosters now. I didn't use it in this rebuild, but it will be in the Cardinals rebuild. So not only will DeAndre Hopkins be on the Cardinals, but everyone else will be on the correct team. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one.